Good afternoon, distinguished professors, respected college, and fellow research. My name is Witriani. I'm from Universitas Syah Kuala, Aceh, Indonesia. It's truly an honor for me to present my research entitled How Uncertainty and Investment Drive Indonesia Exchange Rate Adjustment Using an ECM Model Approach. It's really an honor for me to be present my paper at the 7th Borobudur International Symposium 2025 in conjunction with the 3rd Interconnect 2025. Today, I would like to discuss how global uncertainty and domestic investment jointly shape Indonesia exchange rate dynamics using an error correction model framework. Exchange rate stability is a fundamental pillar of macroeconomic resilience. We know that Indonesia has faced repeated episodes of external shocks. Indonesia has been historically experienced sharp fluctuation, especially during the periods of global turbulence. As shown in the figure, we can see that Indonesia experienced significant depression, especially during the global financial stress, such as financial crisis 2008, COVID-19 pandemic, and recent geopolitical tension. This episode highlight that the rupiah remains vulnerable under external shocks, raising a crucial questions: how resilient is Indonesia exchange rate in responding to uncertainty and domestic economic force? The second figure illustrates the movement of Indonesia with uncertainty index. Several major studies confirm that global uncertainty significantly influence the macroeconomic condition. Several studies has been confirmed that global uncertainty significantly influenced the exchange rate volatility, such as by Bloom in 2017, ahead Bloom and Pursury in 2018. But however, in Indonesia, the exchange rate movement not only driven by global shock, but also by domestic fundamentals, such as investment performance, which is studied by Ghosh, Astri, and Qureshi, 2014. However, the empirical findings remain mixed. Some studies say that it's significant, but some is not significant. So this gap motivated the need to investigate it, whether the global shock, the uncertainty, and the investment drive exchange rate movement in Indonesia, and how quickly the exchange rate returned back to the equilibrium after the shocks. This unresolved gap provide the core motivation of the study. To achieve this objective, the study applies the error correction model or ECM model to capture both long-run and short-run relationship and how the adjustment of short-run to the equilibrium. The study used quarterly data from 2000 to 2024, which variably using the rupiah exchange rate to US dollar, world uncertainty index for Indonesia, and investment. The HM framework is particularly useful because it confirms whether the variables are co-integrated and whether the short-term deviation convert back to equilibrium. Here we can see the long-run HM model and short-run HM model. While the long-run HM model capturing the equilibrium relationship between those variables, the short-run capturing the change of short-term change in exchange rate and how short-term change in investment and uncertainty. And the error correction model Error correction term, which measure the speed of adjustment. A negative and significant error correction term will indicate a stable macroeconomic adjustment. The long run shows two important findings. First, that investment have statistically significant effect on the exchange rate. In addition to uncertainty, also significantly affect the exchange rate in the long run. It's consistent with both studies by Rashid and Ahmad 2021 and by Ian Bloom and University 2018. This result demonstrate that initial long-term exchange rate is shaped jointly by domestic investment strength and persistent global uncertainty. However, in contrast, the short-run estimation revealed a different result. Investment significantly influenced the short-term exchange rate movement, confirmed that domestic economic activity play a dominant role in the short run, while the uncertainty doesn't have a significant short-run effect on the exchange rate. This suggests the Indonesian foreign exchange market is not immediately reactive to uncertainty shock. This result is consistent with Kido's, which shows that uncertainty tend to transmit through delayed expectation and investment channel rather than instant market responses. The error correction term, ECT or residual, is found to be negative and significant. This confirms that there exists a valid long-run equilibrium relationship among exchange rate, uncertainty, and investment. And any short-run deviation in equilibrium will gradually return to stability. It shows that Indonesia boasts a strong macroeconomic adjustment mechanism supported by monetary policy intervention. Based on the empirical finding, this study drew three main conclusions. First, that uncertainty and investment jointly influence the Indonesian exchange rate in the long run, while in the short run, investment is the main driver. The third is the significant error correction term comes from that exchange rate shocks are systematically corrected over time. Overall, Indonesia exchange rate is more strongly anchored by domestic economic fundamental than in global volatility. This finding carry important policy implications. First, that strengthening investment performance must be the core strategy for the exchange rate stabilization. Second, policymakers shouldn't rely solely on external shock, but also to prioritize domestic capital formation, macroeconomic credibility. And exchange rate sustainability requires long-term structural stability, not only short-term intervention. In conclusion, this study provides a strong empirical evidence that while global uncertainty matters in the long run, Indonesia exchange rate is fundamentally driven by domestic investment strength and effective macroeconomic management. Thank you very much for your attention. I look forward for your valuable questions and constructive discussion. Thank you very much.